Hi.
Hi.
Hi. All right, I'm excited. So you mentioned, was it Purdues?
Purdy's, yes.
Purdues as an example of a growing success of an indie magazine.
hmm
From an outsider's perspective, there seems to be some similarity and possibly overlapping content between Phlox and Purdues.
Yeah. Not really, because Purdy's only focuses on the idea of happiness, and only that through storytelling of different people, but individual and not communities. And they really only deal with the idea of happiness, where we are very a theme-based magazine.
Very theme-based, based on the
hmm
community. Um, you also mentioned United Colors of Benetton,
hmm
right, which was the publisher of sort
Yeah.
of Colors magazine as a possible advertiser. Do you see Benetton as or Colors as a competitive title that may occupy a similar space?
At least I see Benetton as a great opportunity because unfortunately Colors is not published anymore. It hasn't been published for 2 years. So I'm guessing they might want to have another publication that could carry their values. And I think what Benetton has been trying to do for the past decades is to really embrace difference and be a forward-thinking brand. And this is what we do. So if someone knows someone at Benetton, maybe it's a great opportunity.
So you think Phlox could become their new sort of platform?
um, or at least become a partner,
Mhm.
not being as integrated as Color was at the end. But definitely, I think we have the same line of thoughts and the same brand and the same way to embrace difference and cultural topics.
Great. So you mentioned the website as a sort of companion to the printed magazine.
hmm
You mentioned that the website would actually have extended stories or some stories that didn't make it into publication.
Yes.
Why would somebody choose the printed magazine over the website? What additional value would I get from having the printed publication?
The printed publication is a really like deep dive into one topic. Whether the website is a more glimpse teaser to keep our audience connected with us. Um, it's a more wide platform, but the real core of the project is to go really deep into some questions and to really explore. We have like kind of like long format stories and article. So I feel the website helps us tease and connect with our audience, whether we really deep dive into the
Right.
topic.
So the website's more of an overview
Yes.
of the publication.
hmm
And do you see the website as an archive of all the previous issues and all the previous content, so it continues to kind of build that way?
Not necessarily, because we feature a lot wider range of communities on the website. So not really.
And do you see community participation on the website?
Yeah, we actually do. So we play with social media to like attract people on the website, obviously, and we do this like kind of like weekly teaser when we feature one community a week, and on those teaser we can definitely see that like the communities are the most responding, and building on our like main audience, the communities are very participating and we can see like them transferring to some specific article on the website.
So there's a comments part of the website, or where people can.
There is a comment part, but I can feel like I can see on the traffic that like the day I post and like the likes and like the traffic I have is depends on the communities as
Do you
well.
ever have a concern or a need to try to police the comments, considering that the subcultures are so,
Yeah.
as you said, kind of marginalized, but
So far, no. I had no problem with any. Actually, I did had one comment that I had to remove that was really embarrassing or really mean towards one
Yeah.
community, but that was the only example.
Okay, so you would kind of police that a little bit.
Yes.
Okay. The first issue of Phlox contains sort of, it's wonderful and it's an eclectic mix of subcultures, right? That's kind of the thing. You're getting a theme and we're looking at a sort of tangents off of that. Due to the disparate nature of the content, it doesn't really seem likely that the publication as a whole would appeal to any one of the individual subgroups, i.e., I don't know, what's one of your first subgroups besides the bikers and the weightlifting guys?
We have kotekas, we have bronies.
Okay,
we
so
have
let's use bronies. So with the bronies, it doesn't necessarily seem that the biker guys are going to go buy the magazine with the bronies in it.
No, they wouldn't necessarily do, but I think talking to bikers and really bonding over and exposing them the idea, they were not necessarily like against the idea of learn more about other communities that were more less hyper masculine, let's say. So I think there's still like a secondary audience that will jump from, not necessarily jump from one issue to another, but be more related to this issue. But they might find themselves more into the bodybuilding articles. But I think, I mean, from the feedbacks and like every time I talk to them, they seem willing to buy it.
So I mean, this is obviously interesting to me, but who do you think is your primary audience?
I'm definitely addressing this magazine to people who are curious and culturally minded, and also to the very like artsy design scene, because it's a very well curated, beautiful object that will appeal to designer, people in the arts, people basically who would attend like the New York Independent Book Fair or the LA one, this kind of audience.
Okay. And do you ever plan on doing like special issues that deep dive into one topic? Like in this issue, in the dudes issue, you have a sort of collection. Would you ever deep dive into just bikers?
I was thinking of doing like a yearly maybe collection on one culture, but all the different issues are actually connected to current trends. So like the man one is like, I think we've had a lot of example of hyper manly man. But yeah, even the spirituality one that is supposed to be the next one is also questioning some problems that we have in the society. But I think taking a step back and doing like one issue or one book on the side that deals with only a community is definitely an interesting thing.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.